Candle Chapter 3 Hopeless and Offended. The year 1998 brought a new person to our world. That was Brian Moonbloom, the long-awaited child of Emily and Marcus. He was born in the middle of January and could speak by the time November came. While some people said that Brian was gifted since birth, Emily and Marcus didn't believe in that. Either the family was too young to take the responsibility of having a child, or the outer world was too harsh for the little boy. Anyway, Brian seemed to be emotionless, reserved, serious, and not active at all. While the other toddlers were playing hide-and-seek together in the park, he sat next to his window, swallowing book after book. He didn't have any friends in real life. All of them were living only on paper. He knew who Oliver Twist was and could tell you all of his adventures by heart, but he didn't know what was right around the corner of his house. But one thing made him even more reserved and shy: the option B that his parents were always discussing. It was late July of 2003 when Emily came home completely devastated. "I've just been to the kindergarten. They said Brian could not communicate with children." "That's no surprise, Emily. This child is hopeless. Hopeless and helpless. Reaching something in life for him will be harder than climbing Everest for a snail." A 5-year-old boy heard all of this, but he didn't say a word. He just went up with tears on his cheeks and dived into the world of treasure hunts, voyages, and historic battles. As soon as Brian went away, Marcus sat closer to Emily and whispered, a girl, I can't wait till we have a daughter, a girl of good mood and incredible ambition. Our first try was failed, but we do have option B." "We will have a daughter, you know that, but are you sure you won't be bothered by the second child?" "I won't, unless she behaves like the first. Wait for me, I've got an unfinished business." Marcus grabbed a box of matches and quickly went out of the kitchen. "Stop, stop!" Emily called out. But Marcus didn't hear. He ran into Brian's room. "Say farewell to your friends, Brian. They will burn down like a dry forest." With these words, Marcus pulled out a match and set the bookcase on fire. It was out of metal, so the only thing they could burn down was Brian's book collection, his only treasure in life. "Don't hesitate! Get out of here, or I will throw one of them at you!" Marcus pointed at the burning books. Brian did not hesitate. He quickly escaped the room through the open window. "All of my ambitions fail because of you! You! Marcus shouted at the running boy. Then he locked the bedroom that was full of smoke and returned to Emily. Brian was running desperately from the unwelcoming house. He lost all of them. His friends, his imaginary friends that were better than real. The books were gone, so were the last pieces of Brian's happiness. Brian has never been to the part of the city he found himself in now. It was an open field to the west of Street 15 that was generally known as the Backstreet District, a real place for skateboarders, rappers and stunters, and also for fans of watching sunsets. People around seemed not to notice Brian. He was used to the fact that the main character always attracts attention. He just didn't know he was not the main character of the scene. He was not even secondary, at least by now. Brian slowly walked between the basketball fields straight to the wall with graffiti on it. There were swear words all around it. "Life is like graffiti," thought Brian. "It's tricky to find a perfect one. Possibly impossible." There was a little ladder that was attached to the wall. "I'm curious to know what's seen from there. I know I will never be on top of the world. Let me be on top of this wall for a minute," said Brian quietly. He went up. He was lucky to come there at sunset. There were lots of people around him. He didn't just climb the wall. He reached the seaside terrace, the best place to meet the end of the day. There was one little boy among a crowd of young people who were all chatting, laughing, and drinking cocktails. Brian had never seen a crowd in real life before, only on pictures. Brian made it to the pier that stretched into the waters. He could see the coast, the Glory Isles, and the endless sea. The sun started to hide between the two sea rocks known as Candlekeys. It was a gorgeous sight. I might photograph that and hang it on my wall, thought a 13-8-year-old lady with a camera in her hands. Exactly like Vice City, thought a 15-year-old teenager. This scene empowers me. I am not useless. I want to show the world who I really am, and I will, thought a 5-year-old boy. They were all looking at the same sunset. Brian quickly made his way back to his house, full of his own thoughts that nobody of his age had. Emily opened the door. "Hello, Brian. It's rather early for you to stay up so late. Get in bed, quickly. Oh, and I have some news. You will have a sister. I hope at least she lights up my life. The doctor said she might be born on G-Day. Are you pleased, Brian? Say something." "Happy birthday, dear option B," he said aloud and made his way to his room. There was nothing waiting for him anymore.